In this video, I'm going to give you a simple ad strategy that generates sales for your Amazon KDP books without you having to spend much money at all. As you can see on screen, here's a screenshot of one of the campaigns that use this exact strategy for the very month of May 2025, and it's done really well for me. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that strategy is and show you exactly how you can set it up. But before I do that, it's really important for me as someone who's teaching you this ad strategy that you actually understand why we're doing the things we're doing, rather than just copy and pasting something, having no idea what you're doing with it, just because I've told you to do. Because if you're doing that, you're not actually learning anything. In the next couple of minutes, I promise this won't take very long, I'm going to explain why I've done this strategy and kind of how it works in the whole ecosystem of advertising on Amazon KDP. So for this ad strategy, the goal was to have a campaign where we don't spend too much money and we try to have a profitable ad, i.e. an ad campaign or an ad strategy that suits someone with a low budget. There are a lot of people watching my videos who have very low budgets for Amazon KDP ads, so this is why I wanted to make this video. So this ad strategy is going to involve us having very low bids, which allows us to win clicks for cheap, meaning that we can get more clicks before our ad becomes quote unquote unprofitable. And here's exactly what I mean by this. Let's just say, for example, you made £3.50 book royalties per sale. This can be £3, $3, whatever currency you're in. If you had a bid of 70p on your ad campaigns, let's just say hypothetically in this example, you pay exactly what your bid is. So let's just say you pay 70p every single time someone clicks onto your ad. If this is the case and you're bidding 70p, you essentially have 5 clicks until your ad becomes unprofitable, because 70p or 70 cents times by 5 is £3.50. So one of those 5 people who clicked on your ad need to go in and buy the book for it to become profitable. But let's just say you had a bid of something like 35p instead. All of a sudden, rather than your book becoming unprofitable after 5 clicks, it would take up to 10 clicks until your ad becomes unprofitable, because 35p times by 10 gives you the royalty amount you would make per book sale. So therefore, having a lower bid and winning clicks for cheaper essentially means you can get more clicks on your ad before it becomes quote unquote unprofitable. And this is the exact strategy that we're going to be using in this campaign I'm about to show you. So you're probably thinking, Sam, therefore, surely the lower you bid, the better your ads are going to be. Well, you have to understand that there's always going to be a trade-off with ads. If you have a lower bid, yes, you will get a cheaper CPC or cost per click, but you have to understand that because you're bidding less, you are naturally going to win a lot less auctions, and then therefore it's much harder to scale. So if you're bidding 35p, you're going to win so many less auctions than if you bid 70p. So yes, you'll get cheaper clicks, but you're not going to be able to scale this ad nearly as much as if you had a slightly higher bid. So if you're looking for an ad campaign that's going to spend thousands every single month and generate you significant amounts of money, this is not the campaign for you, because this is purely focusing on spending as little as possible, but also remaining profitable at the same time, for people who have significantly lower budgets than someone who might have £500 or $500 plus per month to spend on ads. Now, if you are someone with a slightly higher budget, or you just want to take your Amazon ads to the next level, then I do have my Amazon KDP ads mastery course, which I will leave linked down below in the description, which essentially teaches you everything you need to know to run profitable ad campaigns at scale. So now I'm going to show you how to create this campaign. So just go into your Amazon Ads console and just go for a sponsored products ad, and then just go in and select the book that you want to advertise against. I'm going to blur these out because again, it's going to show everyone what my books are, and I don't want people copying my KDP books. Now, once you've added your book, you want to go down to manual targeting. So this is going to be a manual ad rather than an auto ad, and we're going to be specifically targeting keywords. Now, what the strategy for this ad is essentially we're going to look at our book and think, what are the most common or popular keywords that people are going to be searching to find this ad. We're going to add as many of those as we possibly can to our campaign with a pretty low bid, and just see which ones become profitable and which ones aren't, and then double down on those that are working. So you want to go to keyword targeting and then go down to enter list, and we're going to be targeting just exact phrases in this example. So let's just say this was a dinosaur coloring book for kids. For this ad, we need to think of as many search terms related to dinosaur coloring books for kids as we possibly can, and then advertise really cheaply against all of those. So the first way, of course, is just doing things manually. This will take quite a bit of time because you're just going ahead and thinking through. I've just added in a couple of phrases here: dinosaur coloring book for kids, dinosaur coloring, dinosaur activity book for kids, dinosaur book for kids, dinosaur book for boys, dinosaur book for kids 5 to 7, dinosaur books for kids age 8 to 8. And the way you can do this, just type in dinosaur books, and then Amazon will suggest some different ones for you. So for kids 3 to 5, 2 to 4, for kids, for toddlers, for adults. Just basically go through, do this manually yourself, and think of as many search terms as you possibly can. I would say get at least 20 search terms. Ideally, the more you can have, the better, but aim for at least 20. So dinosaur books for kids 2 to 4 could be one that we're looking for. Now, the much quicker way is actually using Helium 10 Cerebro feature. Now, if you haven't got Helium 10, you're going to have to do this the manual way. But if you do have helium 10, this is the best way to do it because you do it A, so much quicker, and B, you get significantly higher quality keywords that you're going to be targeting. And if you haven't got helium 10, if you use the link down below in the description, you will be able to get a discount off your monthly subscription, which will make this more affordable for you. And how this basically works is we're going to be taking the ASINs of current dinosaur coloring books and seeing all of the keywords that these books are already ranking for. So let's take this one, put that in there. Let's take this one here, put this in there, and let's see if we can find one more dinosaur coloring book that we want to put in. This one here, dinosaur coloring book, 16,000 BSR, is doing pretty good. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Go ahead and press get keywords. And as you can see, this has brought back 718 keywords that these 3 books that are already selling well are ranking for. So these are exactly the keywords that we want to put in our campaign and we want to specifically target. So there are some really obvious ones, dinosaur coloring book, but there's some that I haven't even thought of when I was putting in, spelling it like dino coloring book. All of these different variations of keywords we can put in to our ad campaign. Now, if you want to be even more specific, you can filter it so it contains a certain phrase. So if I want the phrase to contain the word dinosaur, I can just go ahead and put dinosaur in there, go ahead and press apply filters. And now it's only going to show me all of the keywords that include the word dinosaur. All of these are going to be super relevant for what we want our book to target. So to add these to our campaign, all you want to go ahead and do is scroll down and make sure you have as many rows per page as possible. So all of our keywords are now going to be on the same page. Then you want to go ahead and just select this box here, which is going to select them all, and then press export data and then copy to clipboard. And that's going to basically copy all of these individual phrases that you can put into your ad campaign. You then want to go back to that campaign that I had up just a second ago. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all these ones that I added manually and just copy and paste all of these keywords I've taken from Helium 10. So not only is there significantly more targets here, they're also keywords that current books are already ranking for, and therefore we want to make sure we're ranking ahead of these other books by using ads. Now, one thing I will say is make sure you just go through and check that all of these keywords are relevant. So the girl and the dinosaur book is going to be probably a name of another book. So we're not going to want to go ahead and target that. Just go through, filter all of these. But because you've already added the word dinosaur in your Helium 10 filter, a lot of these should be really relevant to your book. But like I say, just go through and make sure all of these actually make sense to advertise against your book. Then all you want to do is go to the suggested bid and just go for a custom bid and then just put a really low bid in of something like 35p. This is kind of, for me, the sweet spot from what I've seen if you're going for a low budget. Go ahead and then just press add keywords. Now again, how much you choose to bid is kind of dependent on how many royalties you're making per book. If you're making like £2 royalties per book and you wanted to make sure you had 10 clicks before your ad becomes unprofitable, you then want to have a 20p bid. But again, it's entirely personal preference. A 35p bid has always worked really well for me, even if my royalties are something like £2, because you still get a significant number of clicks before your ad becomes unprofitable. So as you can see here, all of these keywords we're now targeting for 35p. You then want to scroll down to your bidding strategy and make sure you're selecting dynamic bids down only. This basically means we're only ever going to be targeting these keywords with a bid of 35p or less. So the absolute maximum we will spend on our bids is 35p. If we can get it for cheaper, then we will with this bidding strategy, which is why this is a perfect kind of strategy for people with a low budget. So dynamic bids down only. Don't worry too much about these bid adjustments, and then just go ahead and name your campaign. I'm just going to go ahead and name this as 35p, put the name of the book in there, and then down only, just so you know exactly what campaign this is. Set your daily budget pretty much however you want to do, whatever your daily budget is. Remember, your daily budget doesn't mean you will always spend that. Because we have pretty low bids here, I don't think we're going to be spending a huge amount of money anyway, even though we have loads of targets, because a lot of these keywords we might not win bids for every single time. So again, you just have to be patient. This is the trade-off between having really low clicks and having loads of volume and traffic through your ads. Because we're having lower clicks, we're going to get less people clicking into our ad just because we're going to win less auctions. But that's kind of the strategy you're going for if you have a low budget. So when you've done that, all you want to do is go ahead and press launch campaign, and that campaign will then be completely live. And as you can see, here's this example that I referenced earlier using this exact strategy for the month we're in. So it's currently May 2025. As you can see, I spent £107, made £404 of sales with an ACOS of 26.51%, which is significantly below my break-even ACOS. So this ad, A, hasn't spent too much money, and B, has been really profitable for me. But you can actually go one step further. If you want to optimize this campaign and make it even more profitable, what you can do is go down to the targeting section. And what it's going to do is show you all of the keywords that you're currently targeting and show you how they're all performing. Now, again, I've blurred the keywords out because they do unfortunately give away exactly what my book is because they're exact keywords. But as you can see here, you can go through and see the ones that are performing profitably and the ones that aren't performing profitably. So as you can see, this first keyword here, over the month spent £14, got me 6 orders with a profitable ACOS of 28.85%. This one here, also doing really well, £8.68 spent, really profitable ACOS of 17.38%. I want to keep targeting these two keywords. This one, unfortunately, spent £6.46, didn't lead to any orders, and therefore is a really bad keyword. I've then just gone in and untargeted this, turned this one off. So basically this means this ad is still running. I'm just telling it not to target this keyword because it's spending a load of money and it's not making me sales profitably. Exactly the same for this keyword. It spent £6.34. Yes, it has got me 1 order, but the ACOS is quite high, 78.37%. So again, I've turned this one off. So what this basically does now is it gets rid of all the keywords that weren't performing too well and only targets the ones that are performing well. And over time, this will mean your ad becomes even more profitable. Now, after this video, I do recommend you go ahead, go to Amazon Ads, launch these campaigns, and do let me know how you get on, because I think this can be a really, really good strategy for loads of you watching this video. And for those of you that do want to take your ads to the next level, like I say, you can check out my Amazon KDP Ads Mastery course down below in the description. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.